Good afternoon. My name is Lourdes Ramboa, and I am a faculty and chair for the Business and Entrepreneurship Program at Tarrant County College. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity this afternoon to share with you the new and exciting program TCC is now a part of, the Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund. So this venture fund was made possible because of a partnership that we have with NACCE. NACCE is the National Association for Community Colleges for Entrepreneurship. They are the nation's leading organization focused on promoting entrepreneurship through community colleges. The association represents a little bit over 340 community and technical colleges and over 2,000 faculty, staff, administrators, and presidents, which in turn serve over 3 million students throughout the nation. NACCE has had the opportunity to partner with the Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund, which I will be referring to as EEVF. Well, you may ask, who is and what is the EEVF Fund? Well, the EEVF Fund was the creation of Chip and Stuart Weissmillers. The Weissmillers were kind enough to offer a donation of $1 million to fund phase one of the EEVF, the Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund program. And we are incredibly grateful for the generosity and for allowing us now at Tarrant County College to be part of this venture fund and this program. So what is the goal of the EEVF program? The goal of this fund and program is to launch underfunded entrepreneurs with a focus on community-based startups and young businesses. To fund businesses with a well-thought-out idea, stress-tested idea, that are in need of small amounts of funds, but are unable to secure funding through other traditional means, so financial institutions or bankings. So really, what the Weissmillers really believe in is in the power of the Main Street everyday entrepreneur who often puts, everything they've got on the line to help fund their idea, their goal, their aspiration. And they recognize, as successful entrepreneurs themselves, that at times it takes very little to help somebody start their goal and their dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but the resources are often not readily available for people that need that little funding. There is not an immediate way for them to acquire this funding. And so they have created this program specifically for that entrepreneur. So their guiding principles, the program guiding principles, come from Stuart and Chip, and they're based on some critical factors. One is that there needs to be a partnership between local community colleges throughout the United States and the Venture Fund. So they really believe that this is the right place. The community college setting is the right place for this everyday entrepreneur who is seeking this funding, who is the underfunded entrepreneur. The funds are earmarked for community colleges, their students, and recent alumni. Here at TCC, we're also making that funding available to Tarrant County residents because, again, we believe that we serve the Tarrant County community, and as such, it is also our responsibility to be able to support those entrepreneurs. They believe that every application, every applicant, and everybody that becomes part of the funding cohort has to have presented a well-thought-out, stress-tested idea. That's really important to them. They want to make sure that the entrepreneur has done their own homework, right? So that they have done their feasibility analysis, their maybe some business model canvassing iterations. They have gone out and done their research and tested the validity of their idea, right, with real customers. They would like us to also make sure that the applicant has a simple, coherent business plan and a plan to reach profitability within month 9 and month 12. And finally, they want a full-time committed entrepreneur who receives educational support as well as a unique combination of community-based industry and business partnership and mentoring. So it is part of a three-legged stool, if you want to think about it in those terms. The program is in that there's funding, there is educational support, and then there's mentoring and business advising that comes along as well. So according to the Weissmillers, who are these everyday entrepreneurs? I think it's important for us to highlight this. For them and those that become part of the program is to recognize owners, subcontractors, consultants, and conventional mainstream businesses. They believe that these are the folks that are the engine that drive local communities. And so these are the folks that they're focusing on. They're looking to the food truck operator, the barber shop, the nail salon, the construction contractor, right? The individuals that are really engaged in solving problems for a community within a community. And that's really who they're focusing on. As defined by the program, there are 3 types of everyday entrepreneur business. Unique startup ideas, those who have something that they have identified as a need, as a problem, and they've identified a solution through their research for that problem that is been now validated by customer research. Scaling of an existing business, so it could be somebody that already has a business, and now they're saying, hey, I recognize an opportunity to add a revenue stream or a new product line, or I have reached this phase and now to get to the next phase, I need this funding to help me make it. And finally, a replication of a proven business in a new community. So it could possibly be a food truck operator that says, I need a second food truck, right? That is an everyday entrepreneur. Or a barber shop that has been quite successful in one location and now is looking to open a secondary location. Those are the types of everyday entrepreneurs that the program is intending to support. The goal is to attract as many innovative thinkers as possible in the process. So from Chip and Stewart, they tell us at TCC and every other community college that is involved in phase 1 and phase 2 of the program, that their goal is to work with community colleges to develop funnel-filling practices and support existing curriculum and initiatives such as idea pitches, entrepreneurship certificates, mentorship partnerships, and for credit classes. So again, in Chips and Stewart's mind, the Weissmillers' mind is really about that partnership of the community college student or alumni or soon-to-be student if they become part of this program, and the community college. So that's really where they see the value. So why the focus on community college? That's something that I was very curious about when approached about TCC becoming part of this fund. And so from their perspective, community college students are often underserved by standard entrepreneurship resources. Their thought is that oftentimes they have experienced themselves where they're in a community and they know that there is these great ideas and these great thinkers and problem solvers in the community college setting, but the resources are just not available to them in the same manner that they may be to maybe a 4-year institution or an institution that may have a graduate program. So they really think that focus, they would like their focus to be, their fund to focus on those students. Startup funding is hard to come by angel investors who are focused on national and technology-based fast growth companies. So, again, the community college student who may have a brilliant idea or the county resident that may have a really good solution, whether it's for a social cause or whether it's for a business for-profit cause, may not know all the resources that are available. And this is one way for them to, a centralized way for them to find those resources. Community-based business opportunities in this space are a great fit for the skills, creativity, and passion of the community college population. So again, it's that emphasis on those partnerships that they're really wanting to focus on. And then finally, traditional and returning community college students have the mindset and the grit to launch small businesses which benefit both themselves and the local communities. So one of the things that the Weissmillers and I have had the opportunity to talk about is how important it is for a community to have that Main Street entrepreneur that is really live and breathes and cares about the growth and the development of that community as well as of their business. So as part of phase one, the Weissmillers, as I said earlier, they donated or they gave a gift of $1 million, and they divvied up that $1 million amongst these 4 colleges you see here. It was Middlesex in Lowell, Massachusetts, Wayne County Community College in Detroit, Michigan. My eyes are betraying me here. Monroe Community College in Rochester, New York, and Hillsborough Community College in Tampa, Florida. And their idea, which the first funding in the first program pilot kicked off in fall of 2017, has really paid off. As of January 2020, the EEVF Phase 1 colleges have funded 45 businesses with a total of $596,000 that have been granted to these 45 businesses. They have given them grants, and in some instances, some of the colleges, as the business reached month 12, were able to find partnerships with local financial institutions to help those businesses beyond what the ability of the fund was able to provide them with. So we were invited to participate and be part of Phase 2. So Phase 2 includes Salt Lake City Community College, which is in Salt Lake, Utah. There is Maricopa County Community College, which is in Phoenix, Arizona. There is Dabney Lancaster, which is in North Carolina. And there is Catawba Community College, and that is escaping my mind. I think is in Iowa, but I'm not 100% sure. And then there's Tarrant County College, which we are super excited, super thrilled to have been selected as part of Phase 2. We are the sole community college in Texas to have been selected and awarded this opportunity. So we want to ensure that we do a banged up job and that we are able to reach as many everyday entrepreneurs as we can, which is why I'm here today presenting this to you, because I'm hoping that you guys will help me get the word out to all of our Tarrant County residents, to our, obviously, TCC alumni. I am doing my best to reach out to all our TCC students here in the entrepreneurship program and encouraging them to apply to the program. So how does the program work? Well, the first thing that we set up in following the process was a funding committee. TCC's funding committee is made up of local small business owners, banking representatives, because just like we have seen in other colleges, we want to make sure that if the student is able to grow their business or need more funding, that there is some availability to that. So, and then we have also local chamber and industry association representatives that make up part of the funding committee. So their task is to select business plans and entrepreneurs with the greatest likelihood of viability, with proper funding and proper post-launch mentoring and education. So that's really what their focus will be in trying to identify what do we do and how do we do this. So they're tasked with determining which entrepreneur, business owner will receive funding. They're tasked with determining how much funding to provide them with. And then they're also tasked with determining the timing of the funding to be provided. So it is possible that an applicant could receive partial funding at the beginning, and then as depending on progression, they may receive additional or the remainder of their funding. So it is all up to these individuals who are outside of TCC, but who have experience starting a business, running a business, understanding financials, understanding, how operations work, understanding what are the things that help a startup business or a young business achieve the success that we would like our businesses that become part of the program to achieve. After they have determined the funding, then those funded cohort businesses will be partnered or matched up with a business mentor. And that mentor will work with them for a period of 12 months. So another value add, in addition to the funding, they are going to be partner with a mentor who has been either a small business owner or has some kind of background or expertise in an area that maybe that entrepreneur needs support and assistance with. So after that handoff, though, the funding committee members don't go away. They will continue to be an integral part in ensuring the progress and the success of the business. So quarterly reports will be provided by the entrepreneurs for, again, a period of 12 months. And the funding committee members can also be mentors. So it's a possibility that there would be a relationship there as well. So the goal is to have 2 rounds of funding per academic year. So as you know, TCC runs on an academic year of September 1st through August 31st. And so the idea is that we will fund businesses, hopefully one in the fall and one in the spring. So 2 rounds of funding. And even applicants that don't receive funding in round 1 of the application funding process can apply once again for round 2. And the goal really is to give feedback to those applicants that did not get funding from the funding committee, and in a more lighter way, not as intensely as we would the funded businesses, but the non-funded businesses will get a little bit of mentorship in guiding them on what they need to improve in order to increase their success opportunities of achieving funding during round 2. So this is a lot of wording here, but I'm going to try and summarize this for you. In order for somebody to qualify, the applicant has to complete and have all this great information available. And so there's a lot of data here. They have to be a TCC student, a TCC alumni, or a resident of Tarrant County. Okay, so that is one of the requirements. They have to have a validated business model. Again, we go back to what I said earlier, that the Weissmillers really believed in a stress-tested idea, right? So let's make sure that you've done, as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, your homework, that this is, something that has the possibility and the viability to be successful in the business world. Have formed a legal business entity. So although we accept sole proprietorships, we want to make sure that they have done kind of that homework as well. Have a company website, a commercial bank account open. If we prefer, the program is geared towards individuals and businesses that have been in business for less than 24 months or that are about to get started. So startups or young businesses. Businesses that have existed between 24 months and 4 years, so 2 years and 4 years, can still apply, but they're going to have to demonstrate their need for the funding in terms of additional revenue streams, additional product offerings, a new service offering, something new that is being added. It can't be because to support marketing initiatives or to support operational or inventory needs. It really has to be a new kind of offering or revenue stream that they're committing to or that they're trying to launch. And then they have to commit to attend the educational components that we will develop for them and attend and participate in the mentorship piece. Again, because the Weissmillers are really strong believers that the best way to achieve success in this program is through the 3-legged stool: funding, education, and mentorship. So those are the criteria that any applicant will have to meet. So how does the mentorship work? So along with managing the funding process for those awarded grants through the EEVF, TCC will also be providing participants with the mentorship. We have small business advisors, we have mentors that we are lining up, and we have lined up for round one to work one-on-one with each member of round one cohort, right? So each cohort will have, each individual member will have their own mentor. There will be business entrepreneurs who are awarded this funding, who will be matched again and partner with that mentor. The mentor will then be asked to conduct a business assessment of both the business and the entrepreneur, which will then help us craft additional support needed. After the evaluation is completed and in partnership with the funding committee in TCC, a customized educational and mentoring plan will be developed to be executed over a period of 12 months following the award of the grant. Again, this is something that is incredibly valuable. And sometimes, although some businesses, some small businesses and startups have great mentors, some don't. And so this will hopefully increase their opportunities for success. Award recipients will be required to meet with their mentors on a bi-weekly basis. You know, it could be a 5-minute check-in, it could be an hour check-in, depending on the need, depending on the challenges, and depending on the support that individual entrepreneur or small business owner may need. The funding committee will receive a monthly mentor report on variances to plan and recommendations for adjustment to pivots from the initial plan. So this is how the funding committee will continue to be involved. We will also ask the entrepreneur the small business owner to present on a quarterly basis to the funding committee, just to offer an update as to where the business is going. I talked a little bit about the educational component, and here we are doing kind of a twofold on that. One is, once we have the business assessment, we're going to do an entrepreneur profile assessment and work with a mentor in developing a customized training and education program for each member who receives the grant. And then, so based on their strengths, so if you already have that financials piece knocked down, guess what? You're not going to talk about financials or have to learn about those. But if that is an area where improvement is needed, then guess what? You're probably going to be given some help in terms of knowledge and education and tools and resources for that. And then the other approach to build both collaboration, networking, and bring in expertise that may be beneficial to the entire cohort, every member of the funding cohort. Then we will have workshops on a monthly basis from where we'll bring experts in a variety of small business related type topics. So this will be all offered through our non-credit side. So TCC's corporate solutions team will lead this initiative within the college, and they will partner with campus constituencies for this non-credit program. The last thing I want to kind of share with you is who is leading this up, in case you want to reach out to us and find out more about it. It includes Shannon Bryan, who is our Executive Vice President of Corporate Solutions and Economic Development. I have put her email address here. Rodney Johnson, who is the Director of the Tarrant Small Business Development Center, and myself, Lourdes Ramboa, and as I said, I'm the Chair and Faculty for Business and Entrepreneurship Programs here at TCC. So I can share with you how excited we are about this opportunity. The round one applications has closed. We missed the deadline with GEW by about a week. But we're excited about this first round. It's going to be a test for us. This is kind of our pilot here at TCC. Other colleges have done it, but it will be the first one for us. We're looking forward to potentially in the spring having that many more applicants come through and have the opportunity to fund underfunded community-based startups and young businesses here in Tarrant County. And I'm looking to you guys, now that you know a little bit more about our program, to help us support, to help get the word out there, right? Tell people about it, tell people in Tarrant County about it. If they're a resident of Tarrant County, obviously they can apply. If they have ever attended TCC as an alumni, they can apply. If they are starting their business in Tarrant County but may live in Johnson County, they can still apply as long as business address is in Tarrant County. We want to make sure that we're supporting local entrepreneurship here in Tarrant County. So we want to make sure we reach out to everybody and anybody that has the opportunity, has the idea, has a stress-tested idea that has been validated, but that needs just a little bit of funding to get that idea executed or to grow it to the next level. So having said all that, I look forward to telling you a little bit more about this. Hopefully by next year I will have some updates and I'll be able to present the progress that we have made through TCC's Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund. Thank you very much.